Yo, what's good everyone? This is Ayo Boxing with Madiba, and we're here to discuss if Naoya Inoue is ducking Murodjon Akhmadaliev. Now this is something that I had to talk about and take some time to research because the initial news regarding Naoya Inoue's next opponent was confusing. But it looks like Inoue will be fighting TJ Doheny in September.
Who the fuck is that guy?
And now you have a lot of fans calling Inoue a duck and a cherry picker, and for the first time since I've been watching Inoue, this criticism has some legitimacy to it because the WBA just ordered Inoue to defend his undisputed title against Murodjon Akhmadaliev, commonly known as MJ. And before you call me a hater, I'm not saying that I agree with these criticisms, but they do have some validity to it. However, calling Inoue a duck or a cherry picker is an oversimplification of what's going on. Let me explain. Last week, the WBA ordered Inoue to fight MJ. They have until July 14th to strike an agreement or the bout will be sent to purse bid, and the fight has to happen before September 25th. MJ's team wants the fight to be placed on the undercard of Anthony Joshua vs Daniel Dubois at Wembley Stadium in London, which will take place on September 21st. The reason why this happened is because Sam Goodman, the IBF mandatory and the next in line to fight Inoue, backed out and opted to fight someone else. Maybe Goodman and his team felt that they were not ready for Inoue, but this allowed the WBA to step in. However, Bob Arum stepped in and stated that TJ
Who the fuck is that guy?
is Inoue's next opponent for September. Arum says that TJ is a better option because he's popular in Japan. I can't deny these claims because I'm not Japanese, nor will I act like I know what's going on in a Japanese fan base, but TJ has fought and beaten several Japanese fighters and has won his last 3 fights by KO in Japan, with his last fight on the undercard of Inoue vs Neri. But there's no way that a 37-year-old journeyman with 4 losses is a better opponent or deserves a title shot against Inoue. TJ is a former IBF champion, but MJ is a better fight in all aspects. MJ is a 2016 Olympic bronze medalist, the former WBA and IBF champion, has one of the best resumes at 122, and was one of the popular names that people wanted Inoue to fight once he moved up to 122. He's a skilled boxer-puncher southpaw. He can box and move, but also has power and will stand and trade when necessary. From a style standpoint, MJ will present a unique challenge for Inoue and in my opinion, the best fighter remaining at 122. However, MJ did fumble the bag when he lost to Marlon Tapales last year. If he would have won that fight, then he would have fought Inoue for undisputed last December. Furthermore, MJ basically ducked Stephen Fulton in 2022 when they could have fought for undisputed, which means MJ missed 2 opportunities to set up an Inoue fight. Furthermore, I don't know why MJ's team wants the fight to take place in London. MJ's manager believes that this bout is perfectly suited to fall on Turki Al-Sheikh's Saudi Arabia-backed Wembley card, which would be headlined by AJ, but Inoue is the cash cow and the biggest draw in the lower weight classes. Other than gaining more worldwide exposure, Inoue does not need to leave Japan to fight. Inoue drew an audience of 55,000 to the Tokyo Dome against Neri, so it's obvious that Inoue is the A side with all the leverage. So why does MJ's team feel like they have a say in where the fight should take place? It's like they're trying to sabotage their own fighter. I have no doubt that Eddie Hearn and Matchroom have something to do with this, so I understand why Arum prefers TJ over MJ, less politics. And if worse comes to worse, Inoue will be stripped of the WBA title. Arum does not see this as an issue because Inoue already became undisputed at 122. But no matter how you look at it, Inoue will be criticized for fighting TJ. Inoue gets criticized for fighting nobodies in Japan, which isn't true if you watch the lower weight classes, but you cannot convince me that TJ
Who the fuck is that guy?
is a noteworthy name, especially when there's other names at 122. And to be honest, there's nothing inherently wrong with fighting a journeyman, but Inoue's reputation has been built on fighting the best. This is something that I like about Inoue, and this is something that his fans, especially the English-speaking and American fans, push and cite as a reason why Inoue is the best. Fighting TJ is a contradiction to this reputation. Inoue will not get credit for beating TJ, and if TJ is able to have some success or a freak chance that he upsets Inoue, the Inoue critics and haters will have a field day. So if you're an Inoue fan or fanboy, be prepared to hear it all come September. But in the grand scheme of things, this doesn't really matter because the plan for Inoue is to move up to featherweight next year. This is why Bob Arum does not want any of his champions at featherweight to unify. The current top-ranked champions are WBO Rafael Espinoza and IBF Fernando Lopez. Nick Ball is the WBA champ and he's signed to Queensberry, while the WBC champion Ray Vargas is signed to the PBC. All these champions are interested in the Inoue fight, but none of them are adamant about unifying. They'll instead take on mandatories and wait for Inoue. So there's a strong chance the champions at featherweight will be different by next year, since Brandon Figueroa is challenging Ray Vargas, Angelo Leo is challenging Fernando Lopez, and Shushin Carrington is looking to fight for a title soon. Inoue will most likely have to fight all the 4 champions to become undisputed, which means more money for Arum and the promoters. But who knows, this is boxing, anything can happen. But thank you for tuning in with Ayo Boxing with Madiba. Hit like, subscribe, and more content is coming your way.